Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news. Wrestling icon Hulk Hogan has died. Michelle McConaughey is in the WRAL Live Center with where we learned the news minutes before this newscast.
Also breaking news, withdrawing from the race. President Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, will not run for retiring Senator Thom Tillis' seat. How the field has grown in the last 24 hours.
And new at noon, a weather alert day now in place for Sunday, a forecast high of 100 degrees. I'll show you how high the heat index could climb coming up.
Preventing more flooding. Chantal caused millions of dollars in damage. How state leaders hope to repair a pump station behind extreme flooding.
Busy noon hour here on our Thursday. Good afternoon to you. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Thanks for joining us. You likely noticed the humidity is up a bit compared to yesterday, and dangerous heat makes a comeback starting tomorrow. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with when our highs could get close to 100 degrees. Amy.
That's going to happen over the weekend. It is going to be very hot. Plan for some indoor things. 99 is our forecast high right now for Saturday, although I was talking to Kat Campbell, we might bump that up into the triple digits. 100 for the forecast high on Sunday. And so weather alert day in place for Sunday. It is going to be very hot, and the humidity will be very high, so it will feel even hotter. The heat index for Saturday, anywhere from 105 to 109, and then it's worse Sunday, 106 to maybe even 111. So this is some big heat that's going to last into next week. So 97 the high tomorrow. The heat index should stay at about 103. So we should stay below heat advisory criteria tomorrow, but it is a hotter day. 99 for the high temperature Saturday. A weather alert day with a high of 100 on Sunday. Monday we'll have a high temperature of 98 degrees. And this is going to continue likely through Wednesday of next week. So some golfers out here at Pinehurst at the Resort and Country Club. This is going to be the coolest day in the next 7. So if you have some outdoor things to do, maybe some lawn work, get it done today. 85 right now in Raleigh, 89 in Fayetteville, it's 85 in South Hill, Virginia. Dew points are in the upper 60s, so that's not terrible in the Triangle. Low 70s, even upper 70s elsewhere, so it is up compared to yesterday. It feels like 88 in Raleigh, feels like 99 right now in Clinton. Temperatures will climb into the low 90s, pretty close to normal, but the big heat is back starting tomorrow. I'll show you when we could see a little bit of a break in the big heat coming up.
Amy, thank you. Breaking news in the race for the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by Senator Thom Tillis. Laura Trump, the daughter-in-law of President Donald Trump, announced she will not run. Most recently, Laura Trump served as co-chair of the Republican National Committee. In a post on X this morning, she said that after much consideration and heartfelt discussions with her family, friends, and supporters, she decided not to pursue the U.S. Senate seat in North Carolina at this time. So what do we know about how this race is shaping up? A lot has happened in the last 24 hours. To give us a better idea, WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie joins us live in the studio with details. Laura.
Renee, at this point, it looks like former Governor Roy Cooper will be the nominee. That's him right here on the left in alphabetical order. The likely Democratic frontrunner, and current RNC Chairman Michael Whatley will be the GOP favorite. Whatley used to be the state Republican Party chairman. He now co-chairs the Republican National Committee along with Laura Trump. He's never run for public office, and he may not have a lot of name recognition, but he'll probably have President Trump's endorsement since he's been a very loyal supporter. Whatley will also have a lot of money. He is well connected in the world of political fundraising. Everyone in the GOP was kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting to see whether President Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, would get into this race. She's never run for office either, but having that name on the ticket would be a big draw. However, she announced this morning she will not run, so Whatley moved quickly to throw his hat in.
Now, Laura, on the Democratic side, former Governor Roy Cooper appears to be the top candidate. He has not quite made that official, right?
That is correct, but we have confirmed that he is expected to do that next week. Cooper has won 6 straight statewide races, outperforming the Democratic presidential candidate, which means that he's able to draw some independent and even Republican votes, and that makes him a stronger candidate. He's also got a lot of name recognition, obviously, and a lot of fundraising ability. Former Democratic Congressman Wiley Nickel has also announced a bid for this office. We have asked him for his reaction, but we have not heard back.
All right, Laura, thank you. Check out WRAL.com or the WRAL News app for in-depth reporting on the North Carolina U.S. Senate seat. WRAL's NC Capitol team has extensive coverage of this race, who's in and who's out.
And breaking news right now in the WRAL Live Center, we have just learned right before the newscast coming on air here, wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died. He was 71 years old. We are getting this information from TMZ. They were the first to break the story. They were reporting that medics were dispatched to his home in Clearwater, Florida early this morning, with operators stating it was regarding a cardiac arrest. Just a few weeks ago, his wife Sky denied rumors that he was in a coma, stating his heart was strong as he recovered from surgeries. He was just dealing with symptoms of a neck procedure that he underwent in May. Again, Hulk Hogan dead at 71 years old.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche is set to meet today with Jeffrey Epstein's former associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. The meeting will take place at the federal courthouse in Tallahassee. It comes as President Trump faces backlash over the Epstein saga. Maxwell is appealing her conviction of carrying out a scheme with Epstein to groom and sexually abuse underage girls. In 2022, she was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. Many of the president's supporters, as well as lawmakers on Capitol Hill, have demanded the release of more information about Epstein. We have an update now on the national security scandal involving Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other top officials. According to an ongoing review, the acting inspector general has received new evidence from the March incident. It shows the military plans were taken from a U.S. Central Command document marked classified at the time. Previously, Hegseth claimed nothing classified was included in the chat that included Vice President J.D. Vance and the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic.
North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson will be in Hillsborough today. He's expected to call on FEMA to restore hundreds of millions in grant funding for stormwater projects across the state. WRAL's Flynn Snyder is live at the Hillsborough wastewater plant for us. Flynn, the AG's visit comes more than a week after he and more than a dozen states sued FEMA over canceled funding.
Yeah, Renee, and the pump station here at Hillsborough's water plant has really become a focal point over the fight for this funding. The town of Hillsborough had been awarded nearly $6 million in FEMA grants to move the pump station out of the Eno River floodway. The Trump administration later canceled the grant program. That pump station later flooded during Tropical Storm Chantal, with Hillsborough town officials saying that forced about 75% of the town's sewage into the Eno River. During an interview this week, WRAL pressed the White House press secretary about that canceled funding.
The president wants to make FEMA more efficient, and he wants state and local governments, so your governor and your state and local elected officials, to lead and make decisions during times of crises. The federal government and the president will be there to provide the resources, but ultimately state and local officials need to make these decisions on the ground.
North Carolina was among 20 states that sued FEMA over this funding being pulled, saying the decision violates the Constitution and that local cities were depending on this money. Attorney General Jackson is set to visit here in Hillsborough, the water plant here at around 1:30. He's expected to be joined by the town's mayor. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, live in Hillsborough.
A dump truck crash shut down parts of 540 this morning. Sky 5 was over the scene on the Triangle Expressway near Holly Springs around 9:30 in the morning. The road was shut down at the US 1 exit heading west, and you can see the dump truck on its side blocking the road and what looks like sand covering the roadway. The road was closed for several hours. We're working to find out what caused the crash and whether anyone was hurt.
The ACC kickoff continues over in Charlotte, and the in-state stars take the stage today, including UNC head coach Bill Belichick. WRAL sports reporter Luis Fernandez joins us now. And Luis, we've already heard from Belichick this morning.
Yeah, sold-out stadiums, primetime games. The hype train is chugging along for Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels. Easy to forget that the six-time Super Bowl champion is preparing for his first season at UNC, his first season as a college head coach. But Belichick says he has a good relationship with plenty of coaches that have gone from the pros to college.
It's a great game, and I love being a part of it. And and those people all talked about the great experiences that they had. And, Coach O'Brien went to Penn State. It's different, but it's still football. It's fun.
We asked Belichick a few questions this morning. What does he think the strength of this team is before camp begins? He said he doesn't have that answer yet, but we'll see, saying the team has a long way to go. We also asked about his vision for the future, if he sees an NFL return or if he sees himself at UNC for a long time. He said the future right now is the start of camp, trying to take each day one day at a time, making them as productive as possible. Now, if you are an NC State or Duke fan, please don't throw your remote through your TV just yet. The Wolfpack and the Blue Devils speak at ACC kickoff this afternoon as well. We'll hear from head coaches Dave Doran and Manny Diaz throughout the day.
We have got you covered. We'll take stock in that information. Lewis, thank you. And we'll look at stocks right now. It's a bad day for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. As you see, it spent the entire morning in negative territory, and it's down, hovering right around 200 below that line right now. The other two major indices, NASDAQ and S&P 500, are up marginally.
Protesters were outside the Durham courthouse today after ICE agents were seen there Wednesday morning. More than 100 people were outside the courthouse with Siembra NC under the belief that ICE would be back there again today, writing chalk messages about ICE's presence at the courthouse yesterday. WRAL confirmed ICE was at the courthouse looking for a man accused in a domestic violence assault who had been deported before. President Donald Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship is unconstitutional. That's a ruling by a federal appeals court. The ruling upholding a nationwide ban on the administration's implementation of the measure. The three-judge panel ruled 2-1 that Trump's directive violates the citizenship clause of the Constitution's 14th Amendment. The president's order sought to deny automatic citizenship to any U.S.-born children of undocumented immigrants.
Next at noon, a terror plot uncovered inside the U.S. How a New York man got busted buying bomb-making materials.
Also, a festival of fandom. A look inside GalaxyCon as the convention starts in Raleigh today.
Plus, UNC system leaders are meeting ahead of the school year starting. The financial pressures getting most of their attention.
Coming up next, sea storms moving in with WRAL's exclusive Dual Doppler 5000. Sponsored by the WRAL Weather app. Download now for live radar.
And back here in the WRAL Live Center, victims of the Eaton fire in California are getting compensated after transmission lines from Southern California Edison were blamed for the deadly Eaton and Palisades fires. The utility company is compensating those impacted by the Eaton fire. The Wildfire Recovery Compensation Program, launching in the fall, will offer direct payments for total and partial structure loss, commercial property loss, business interruption, physical injury, and fatalities. LA County filed a lawsuit back in March against Southern California Edison. The Eaton fire broke out January 7th. It destroyed 9,400 structures. 17 people were killed.
Now to the foiled plot of a would-be bomber. A grand jury indicted a man from Long Island on 3 counts, including unlawful possession of destructive devices. Law enforcement received a tip after the suspect allegedly ordered materials for the bombs online. NBC's Stephanie Gosk spoke with counterterrorism officers about the investigation.
Michael Gann's goal was to blow up multiple homemade bombs in Manhattan, according to federal prosecutors. The 55-year-old who was arrested in June was indicted Tuesday on 3 explosives-related charges. Authorities say he made at least 7 improvised devices and brought them from Long Island to New York City. The NYPD says Gann had not been on their radar until receiving a tip.
So this was a matter of hours, and important for the public to know that we follow leads not only thoroughly, but incredibly quickly wherever we need to take them in order to keep the public safe.
The bombs, according to the indictment, made with chemicals and components bought online, including 200 cardboard tubes and 50 feet of fuses. One of the IEDs contained 30 grams of explosive powder, which is approximately 600 times the legal limit for consumer fireworks. The indictment alleges Gann tossed one of the IEDs onto the subway tracks on the Williamsburg Bridge and stored 5 of the homemade bombs along with 4 shotgun shells in New York City's Soho neighborhood on multiple apartment rooftops. One of those rooftops is right here, a place where people live, work, where tourists come to shop. It is chilling to imagine what may have happened if Gann had followed through with this alleged plot.
We're still working to discern the intent.
Authorities do not specifically say what Gann's motive was, but included this social media post in the indictment. Tagging President Trump, it reads in part, "Here in New York City, it's too bad the wall wasn't built. They seem to be coming and coming." Gann has not entered a plea, and his attorney would not comment on the case.
That was Stephanie Gosk reporting. Officials say Gann appeared to have acted alone and was not acting as part of a group.
One of the hottest conventions of the year is underway in downtown Raleigh right now. GalaxyCon incorporates fans of anime, superheroes, science fiction, and much more. WRAL's Ali Kadlubar was there as the doors opened to the public, and she shares the excitement.
Yes, this is one of the local booths already set up. You can see these are vintage Star Wars action figures here. Princess Leia even in the box. This is the largest event here at the Raleigh Convention Center. GalaxyCon features multiple genres from comic books to TV shows and movies. There's even a celebrity lineup. Last year, the Greater Raleigh Convention Center and Visitors Bureau says this event brought in 45,000 attendees, bringing in a $9.75 million economic impact. It's so big that it's actually extended to the Street Fest. We spoke with an actor and producer here, Brian O'Halloran, who says it's been amazing to watch it grow.
The fact that the fans come out from all over, too. It's not just the Raleigh-Durham area. We've got people coming in from all over the country, specifically knowing how great this show is. So it's good to know that both the City of Raleigh, the Tourism Bureau, the Chamber of Commerce, and everybody here really go hand in hand in making this, I think, the most successful convention that happens every year here.
They're expecting more than 50,000 people to attend the event this weekend. It's a 4-day event, and also Saturday is already sold out. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
It is big. GalaxyCon Raleigh runs through Sunday, and WRAL is a proud media sponsor on the event's Street Fest, which is happening for the first time this year. GalaxyCon is contracted to stay at the Raleigh Convention Center through 2031.
Just in, we have a new heat advisory for tomorrow. Amy, this is probably no surprise, and this does include the triangle.
It does. It's a triangle and points to the south. Now under a heat advisory tomorrow, the heat index potentially up to about 106. So the big heat will start tomorrow. Meteorologist Kat Campbell was doing a little bit of research and tells me that this is going to be the longest stretch of dangerous heat that we've seen so far this summer, with potentially 6 days in a row of the heat index above 105. So hour by hour tomorrow, the heat index forecast will be in the triple digits starting around lunchtime, peaking out about 106 at 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, back down to about 100 at 6 o'clock. So it is going to be very hot tomorrow. And the reason for the big heat is we have this ridge of high pressure that's just going to sit on top of us for days and days. And so we're just going to bake under this high pressure ridge, high temperatures near 100 for several days. Heat advisories will likely be issued for the weekend as well. And I think they'll probably continue through Wednesday of next week. So we have a ways to go with this dangerous heat. 85 outside right now, so it is not bad at all right now. Partly cloudy skies, a little bit of cloud cover over downtown Raleigh right now. The dew point is in the upper 60s in Raleigh right now, but 70s in most locations. So the humidity is up a little bit compared to what we had yesterday. You might want to opt for some indoor exercise today, but it'll be the coolest in the next 7, 93 for the high this afternoon. We'll be back down into the upper 80s at 6 o'clock this evening. So if you have some evening plans, it'll be pretty comfortable, especially compared to what's going to happen in the next several days. 97 Friday, 99 Saturday, 100 Sunday, and 98 on Monday. Very hot temperatures. And then we're in the tropical category with the muggy meter. Dew points will be in the 70s Friday through Monday, and that will likely continue through Wednesday as well. So make indoor plans for the next several days. Today, the heat index not bad, up to about 96, but up into the triple digits Friday. Look at Saturday, 109, 111 Sunday, 109 on Monday. And heat is to blame for the most weather fatalities on average per year in North Carolina. So it is something to take take seriously, and this is a prolonged stretch that we'll have to deal with. If you are looking for maybe some signs of some cooler temperatures, they're not that far away. This is a look at the Climate Prediction Center 8 to 10 day temperature outlook. And notice how part of North Carolina, part of our viewing area, now in this shaded blue region, and that's for the first week of August. So we have a ways to go to get through this big heat, but there are signs that some cooler temperatures will arrive by the end of this month and into early next month. For now, just hope that the AC is working at your house. It is going to be very hot, 93 today, 97 on Friday. It's a weather alert day with a heat advisory. 99 Saturday, we'll probably issue a weather alert day. I think we'll have a heat advisory in place. 100 degrees on Sunday, so a weather alert day in place because of that. And another weather alert day Wednesday because we have a high temperature of 100. So this is a long stretch of some hot temperatures.
It will be quite a week. All right, Amy, thank you. Coming up later today on WRAL, Shelter Solutions. The Nash County Animal Shelter finds itself facing more troubles. We're asking what solutions are on the table and how the county will care for 100 animals in poor condition.
Plus, drones disappear. A drone delivery service abruptly vanishes from Holly Springs. We're pushing for the reason behind the sudden departure. Plus, still ahead this news, social media safety. Meta rolls out new features designed to protect young users.
Trash trap. A Raleigh man books a rental home only to find that it's trashed with cigarettes and broken glass. How 5 on Your Side helped him get thousands of dollars back.
If you're planning on booking a vacation rental in the future, you will want to watch this. A Raleigh man has nearly $6,000 back in his pocket thanks to 5 on Your Side. Keely Arthur explains how she got online marketplace Vrbo to issue that refund.
This house on Mackinac Island Lane in Raleigh was listed on Vrbo, but 5 on Your Side helped get that listing taken down. And in a few seconds, you'll understand why. After experiencing a plumbing emergency at his own home in Raleigh, Dave Branson had to relocate his family and worked with his insurance company to book this Raleigh house. He says on the site the listing was perfect, but when he stepped into the home, he found bagged trash, cigarette butts, broken blinds, and shards of glass. Branson left and asked for a refund, but he says that didn't happen.
The homeowner just being so dismissive about the issues and like, oh, we'll get someone out there tomorrow that can, and I'm like, you can't take care of that in a day. And not to mention, like, why would you even have something in this state open for rent?
Now, even after that, it took some more back and forth before Branson got his refund. And it took us pointing out the very out of the ordinary cause of the damage. Coming up tonight on WRAL News at 6, I'm going to tell you what was behind that damage and the steps anyone should take before booking a vacation rental. Keely Arthur, 5 on Your Side.
Meta launched new safety measures aimed at providing better protection for young users. The company has also removed over 600,000 accounts with sexual comments and images. Teen accounts now include safety features in DMs that give teens more information about who they're chatting with. Meta also makes it easier for young people to block and report inappropriate messages all at once. The previous owner of Poppy Sparkling Beverages is refunding nearly $9 million to customers. A class action lawsuit claimed the sparkling beverage was improperly marketed and labeled as gut healthy. Under the terms, VNGR Beverage LLC did not admit any wrongdoing. To file a claim, you can go to poppysettlement.com.
Addressing accreditation, UNC leaders discuss how to adjust to a new monitoring agency.
Keeping your focus. There is no shortage of digital distractions, right? We'll explain how you can stay productive. Here's a look at your winning North Carolina Education Lottery numbers. We'll be right back.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And we continue to follow that breaking news right now on the WRAL Live Center on Hulk Hogan. He has passed away at the age of 71. We reported earlier that we got that information from TMZ. They were reporting medics were dispatched to his home earlier this morning in Clearwater, Florida, with operators stating it was regarding a cardiac arrest. And this afternoon, we are seeing a lot of people reacting to this. WWE posting this to X, saying they are saddened to learn WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan has passed away. One of pop culture's most recognizable figures, Hogan helped WWE achieve global recognition in the 1980s. They extend their condolences to Hogan's family, friends, and fans. Also, former, retired wrestler Ric Flair, also a friend of Hogan, posting to X as well, writing, "I'm absolutely shocked to hear about the passing of my close friend. No one will ever compare to you. Rest in peace, my friend."
The UNC Board of Governors is meeting right now ahead of school starting next month. One topic of discussion was accreditation reform and what this means for UNC system schools. WRAL Ken Smith is here now with what Board President Peter Hans had to say about it. Ken.
Many strong words from UNC President Peter Hans this morning on that new accreditation agency. He told the Board of Governors the goal is for this accrediting agency to serve the public needs of the universities, acknowledging those may be different from needs of private institutions. Hans says the current process places a major burden on schools, especially smaller schools in the UNC system. He said the annual cost has reached into millions some years.
A more streamlined process that does not require thousands of hours, millions of dollars, and duplicative documentation from institutions that don't have endless resources. Reducing the compliance burden on our smaller campuses is a major driver.
Well, Hans says this new board should have more transparency on the process of accreditation and have a focus on quality and outcomes with more time focused on measuring results. He also told the board the commission will provide more information on best practices so that universities can learn from each other and improve. Well, this is the last meeting of the Board of Governors before the fall semester begins, and they have some tough choices to make without a new state budget. Look for new reporting on this story from WRAL's Monica Casey in our news at 5.
Thanks, Ken. The acting president of Columbia University says the $200 million settlement with the Trump administration protects the school's academic integrity. The administration accused the university of violating anti-discrimination laws. The university will pay an additional $21 million to settle investigations brought by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. In exchange, the vast majority of the federal grants that were frozen or terminated will be restored. President Trump push against diversity, equity, and inclusion is now expanding to artificial intelligence. The president signed an executive order prohibiting the government from using AI technology that includes what he believes are woke ideals. Some say the order could allow the administration to target companies at its discretion. The president also signed another order calling for deregulating AI development, which removes environmental protections that could hamper the construction of data centers. Those data centers house servers for AI models that require immense amounts of water and energy to function, as well as produce greenhouse gas emissions.
If you have trouble getting some tasks done, you're not alone. In this digital age, the average human attention span seems to be shrinking. Mandy Gaither explains how to focus despite all the distractions surrounding us.
In a fast-paced world, sometimes distractions can slow us down and impact our daily lives.
Job performance suffers, school performance suffers, relationships could suffer as well.
Psychiatrist Dr. Avita Singh with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says there are many causes of short attention spans, but 4 of the biggest contributors are stress, anxiety, lack of sleep, and digital devices. To help yourself focus, Singh says to remember the acronym TAKE 5. T stands for take frequent breaks, step away from a computer, go for a short walk. She says this time away can help your mind reset. A is for actively engaging in the task at hand. If you're trying to focus on one thing and can't, it may be time for a short break. K is for keeping distractions at a minimum. That may mean putting your devices away, committing to not looking at social media, or letting coworkers know it's not a good time to talk. E stands for eliminating multitasking. Instead, put all your focus on completing one task. Finally, 5 is for 5 minutes. That's about how long you may need to take a break to refocus.
Taking the time to think about these tips and figuring out how they work for your day-to-day life can be really helpful in at least starting to improve attention span, improve focus even a little bit, which can help day-to-day life a lot.
Taking a short walk really helps for me. Other contributing factors to shorter attention spans include boredom or lack of interest, multitasking, we're all guilty of that, lack of physical activity, poor diet or dehydration, and even medical conditions like ADHD.
And if none of that works, there's a new Wawa in town, and it is just 15 minutes from downtown Raleigh. We were there this morning for the grand opening of the convenience store chain on Masonboro Drive. It's just off Highway 36 in Garner. People started lining up early this morning just to be one of the first customers there.
We're thrilled that there's one right down the street, and we will definitely be here frequently.
I can't wait for the hoagies, the free t-shirt, the smoothies, all of it.
Well, the chain also recently opened locations in Wilson, Goldsboro, and Rocky Mount.
All-time low. What's causing the fertility rate in the U.S. to drop to its lowest point?
Getting your steps in, the new magic number to hit daily that can improve your health, and it might not be as high as you think. Remember, you can watch WRAL News live anytime on WRAL.com or the WRAL app on your streaming device. After sliding for nearly 2 decades, last year the U.S. fertility rate hit its lowest point. Although World Bank data shows America's birth rate is close to many European countries, the report is still triggering concerns the country is not having enough babies to replace older generations. President Trump even considered offering baby bonuses for new parents. A health expert at UNC Chapel Hill says there are a number of factors for the decline.
I don't think there's a rejection of parenthood. People are still open to having kids. They're interested in having kids, but they want to have kids if they feel like they have a good life, they have a good job, they have a good future, they can have a good housing situation. And that is not the case for so many Americans.
The CDC also reports total births still increased 1% or 33,000 from the previous year.
A warning for people taking weight loss drugs. Researchers say more than a dozen studies reveal patients experienced weight rebound once they stopped using anti-obesity medications. Now, according to scientists, the pounds started creeping back on after 4 weeks. Weight gain reached significant levels by 8 weeks. Researchers say while the amount of weight regain varies depending on the specific drug, there is a broad trend associated with weight regain after the course of medication ends. Doctors say we may not need to hit that 10,000 daily step goal in order to improve our health. Researchers found those who took 7,000 steps a day were 47% less likely to suffer an early death. That is compared to those who got just 2,000 steps a day. Those who were more active also had a lower risk of heart disease and dementia. So squeeze in that walk.
Crumbling building. 3 people are recovering after bricks and concrete fell on them. We'll have an update on their conditions.
Machine of misery. That's the best way to describe the system that's bringing sweltering heat to millions. Coming up, we'll explain the science behind the heat dome.
Pretty serene view right there, White Lake. Good afternoon to you. Those high, fluffy white clouds right there and calm water as you watch WRAL News, available on Hulu and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. Still about to get hot out there, though. A man and 2 girls are recovering after a building facade collapsed, sending debris raining down on the pavement. About 60 feet of a facade from a furniture store collapsed. crashing down onto the sidewalk there and onto at least 2 parked vehicles as well. This is in New York. Witnesses rescued a 25-year-old man who was buried in that debris. The man and a 13-year-old girl and an 11-year-old girl were also taken to the hospital for treatment. Several cars were damaged by that collapse.
With an intense heat dome bearing down across large sections of the country this week, we're taking a look at what's behind the weather phenomenon. Ted Lindner explains why heat domes can really put a damper on this season's fun.
Summer is known for serving up scorchers, but another stubborn heat dome is on the menu for a bulk of the country as we approach the end of July. And it's ushering in temperatures that'll feel near and above the triple digits across portions of the Midwest, the South, and the Northeast.
A heat dome by itself is nothing other than simply a strong high-pressure system. It's stationary over one place for a long period of time, and high pressures typically lead to warmer atmospheric conditions.
While many people find them unbearable, Dr. Eric Nielsen of Texas A&M University says heat domes can happen any summer.
So this belt of high pressure systems is always there, but their strength varies based upon the seasons. And so during the summer, they tend to strengthen and dominate and lead to more impactful heat events.
Still, climate scientists from around the world warn increased greenhouse gas emissions are making heat domes more frequent and intense. And Dr. Nielsen says these regions are more prone to them.
The further south you go, the more common you're going to be dominated by this high pressure in the summer months.
Meanwhile, other factors besides pressure can influence the impacts of a heat dome.
We should be looking at this not so much from how strong the actual heat dome is, but in terms of the heat stress that we're seeing. And that has other factors with it, including how much moisture is at the surface, how strong the winds are, right? Because that affects how people kind of are impacted by the actual heat.
That was Ted Lindner reporting. Medical experts say be aware of the signs of heat-related illness, such as heavy sweating, muscle cramps, nausea, dizziness, headache, and confusion.
And while we're on the subject, heat alerts, why not? Amy Wilmoth in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. Better get used to it, it's coming.
That's right. And in fact, part of our viewing area under a heat alert for tomorrow, a heat advisory in place from the Triangle and points to the south. At least 103 million people right now under heat alert. So this is going to be a huge story in the coming days. This is going to be our most intense heat wave of the season so far. Enjoy today. Try to get outside today. It's 85, the heat index 88, so it's really not that bad. Our high temperature gets up to 93, which is pretty close to our normal high of 91. And then we're going to surpass that starting tomorrow and continuing into much of next week. Your evening plan, or if you have some outdoor plans, maybe you're headed to the WRAL concert like myself tonight at Red Hat, it'll be okay. There's no rain in the forecast. It'll be warm, but not super hot. The dangerous heat arrives tomorrow. We are under heat advisory from the Triangle and points to the south. The actual high temperature should climb up to about 97 tomorrow afternoon, which is above normal, but the heat index likely around 103 to 106 across part of our viewing area. And this is going to be 6 days in a row that we have high heat index values at 105 or higher. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All of those days are going to be very hot, and the heat impacts on your body are cumulative, so the more days we have of high heat, the harder it is on our body. Look at the high temperatures for the next several days. Upper 90s to low 100s through Wednesday, and then Thursday, we're still in the mid 90s. It's still going to be very hot. So the heat risk for tomorrow, it's major. Some of our southern counties in the extreme category, but plan for it to be in the extreme category. Limit outdoor activity beginning Saturday and continuing through Tuesday and probably through Wednesday of next week. On to a different topic. We did get a new drought monitor in for today, and still it looks okay. A little bit of an increase in the abnormally dry category, but in our area we're fine because we had so much rain already this month. We've had over 6 inches this month, about 3.5 inches above normal. So it's kind of good that we had some of that rain, because these numbers that we're about to see are going to be very low for the next several days, our rain chances. Today, the best opportunity for rain will be extreme southern parts of the viewing area. Most of us will stay dry, but the sea breeze front and a warm front bringing the potential for a couple of showers in southern counties, but it's just a bunch of days with 20% chance for rain. So you'll need to keep watering the garden. You might need to water your yard as well, as rain chances stay pretty low. And the heat is going to be brutal starting tomorrow. Again, a heat advisory now in place. That triggers a weather alert day from the triangle and points to the south. 97 for the high. 99 Saturday, it's probably going to be an alert day. Alert day with 100 degrees on Sunday. We'll likely have alert days Monday and Tuesday, and we have one Wednesday with a high temperature, also 100 degrees. So get those ACs in working order. Try to stay inside if you can.
You go. Dude, exactly where do you think you're going with that?
Cat burglar. Skip the cuddles, go straight for the clothes. How an everyday house cat is getting its claws on some pricey goods.
Winning Powerball numbers 2, 18, 19, 25, 35. The Powerball is 25. The multiplier is 3. Things up with a look at a few of the headlines we're following for you today. Laura Trump announced she will not run for North Carolina's open U.S. Senate seat in 2026. Shortly after that announcement, National Party co-chair Michael Whatley threw his hat in the ring on the Republican side. Former Governor Roy Cooper appears to be the front runner among Democrats. However, he has not yet announced his run. Former U.S. House Representative Wiley Nickel has announced he will run in the primary. Senator Thom Tillis currently holds the seat. He says he will not be running for re-election.
In the next hour, State Attorney General Jeff Jackson will visit the damaged pump station in Hillsborough. He's expected to call on FEMA to restore hundreds of millions of dollars in grant funding for stormwater projects across the state. The pump station lost a $6 million grant when the administration canceled the program.
UNC football head coach Bill Belichick addressed the ACC kickoff in Charlotte today. He is drawing plenty of attention as he transitions from the pros to college football. Belichick says plenty of coaches that have made the shift and is learning from their experience. Now, we'll hear from head coaches from NC State and Duke later this afternoon.
Tennis superstar Venus Williams is winning on and off the court. Less than 24 hours after becoming the second oldest woman to win a tour-level singles match, Williams confirmed that she is engaged to Italian actor and producer Andrea Preti. Rumors have been swirling for months as they've been spotted in various locations around Italy. Williams says Preti was a big factor in her returning to the sport. Tonight, she takes on Magdalena Frech tonight in round 2 of singles.
Most cat owners dread their pets bringing home the occasional rodent, but one feline in New Zealand has more expensive taste.
Where did you even get it? That's not yours, dude.
Not yours, dude. That's Leo, the dude, who now goes by the nickname Leonardo da Vinci due to his penchant for stealing items off clotheslines in the neighborhood. And not just any old clothes, silk boxers, a cashmere jersey, even high-end socks. The owners say they're really lucky that the neighbors take his thievery in stride.
We're really, really lucky. All of our neighbours think he's amazing. They're super happy that he comes around. Some of them are quite put out that he hasn't actually stolen anything of theirs because he's only going to certain houses.
Oh, he's got his favorites. Leo's owner has started a WhatsApp group to return stolen items to their rightful owners. On one record-setting day, Leo returned home with 9 items, a full outfit.
So the neighbors, when they're missing some clothes, they go to that app. They just automatically know, it's probably Leo. Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Our pet of the day decided to dress up for Shark Week, and we think she's adorable. This is Squeak. She's at the SPCA of Wake County. She's 13 weeks old, currently weighs 7 pounds. Once fully grown, Squeak is expected to weigh between 35 and 50 pounds. She's super sweet, a good-natured puppy, and gets along well with other dogs in her foster home. You can contact SPCA of Wake County if you're interested. NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. We hope you have a good day.
Yeah.